War. War never changes. In the year 1945, my great-great-grandfather, serving in the army, wondered when he'd get to go home to his wife and the son he'd never seen. He got his wish when the US ended World War II by dropping atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The world awaited Armageddon. Instead, something miraculous happened. We began to use atomic energy not as a weapon, but as a nearly limitless source of power. People enjoyed luxuries once thought the realm of science fiction. Domestic robots, fusion-powered cars, portable computers. But then, in the 21st century, people awoke from the American dream. Years of consumption led to shortages of every major resource. The entire world unraveled. Peace became a distant memory. It is now the year 2077. We stand on the brink of total war. And I am afraid. For myself, for my wife, for my infant son. Because if my time in the army taught me one thing, it's that war never changes.
Hello and welcome to another quality production brought to you by Cornbeef Incorporated, and today Cornbeef reviews Fallout 4. Hello, dog meat. So a very special episode for you guys today. And this game, well, the whole Fallout franchise really just holds such a special place in my heart. And I think the last review that I got around to doing was Agony, and I thought that we really needed a good game to, to watch that taste out of our mouth. Still waiting on an update for that game. I am going to do another review on it, a post-update review, but they have not released an update for that broken-ass game yet. Really wish I would have gotten my money back whenever I had the chance, but today is not about Agony. Today is about Fallout 4. So, let's talk about Fallout 4. Here's my house here. Gonna give you a quick walk around. Yeah, I built this entirely from scratch. The settlement building on this game is probably the funnest part about this game, at least to me, because I've always liked games like this where you could just let your creativity flow and build shit, and the settlement building is really well done, and you can build a house, or you can just have a whole settlement. You can put settlement recruitment beacons down, have a whole bunch of people come and move into your settlement and build them houses, and you can have all of your defenses and your electricity. On my main character, I use Sanctuary as my main town, and I've got it set up like a city. I've got a hospital and a trading depot, and all kinds of cool shit. You can really do a lot with the settlement building on here. So in my opinion, it is probably the funnest part of this game, and it's factually, it's the biggest part of the game that differentiates it from, the previous Fallouts in the series, like Fallout 3 and New Vegas. They didn't have anything like this. My floor is a little wonky.
Heads up.
The settlement building can be a little wonky. As a whole, it is very well done, but you will run into a lot of problems if you want to build very specific things. But I've usually always been able to make everything work. I think the settlement building is a very nice little addition, and I think they're putting a lot more focus on that around Fallout 76 as well. They're putting a lot more focus on the settlement building. Well, suppose I should talk about the crafting. While I'm already going into the settlement building and all that, you can have crafting benches. You can upgrade your armor. It doesn't change the appearance of your armor really, but you can upgrade your weapons, and that does make them look pretty unique and cool. Lots of weapon upgrades. I think that they did a very good job on the weapon upgrading system, and I really hope to see more of that coming out of Fallout 76. Again, I don't mean to keep on talking about Fallout 76. I did do a video where I talked about Fallout 76, Cornbeef Rants, Bethesda announcements. You can go watch that. And if you want to watch a little bit about a few different points that I made about Fallout 76, or not Fallout 76, but Fallout 4 versus 3 and New Vegas, and previous installments in the series, then you can go and check out Cornbeef Rants Fallout community up on the channel now. It's been up for a while, so if you're a regular watcher, you've probably already seen that. Nuka-Cola, love my Nuka-Cola. Fuck that Sunset Sarsaparilla stuff. So here in a second we're going to get into the combat, just to give you guys a first look, but I won't be going too far into detail. I will be going into depth about it towards the end of this video. I got a really great segment that I wanted to talk about the combat on. So let's talk about the exploration and the gameplay. The gameplay of Fallout 4 is very linear. If you're a big fan of Fallout 3 and New Vegas, you're not gonna go into this, with a very open mind, because it's very, very linear. You probably won't enjoy Fallout 4. I know that I did not on my first playthrough. I thought that it was way too linear. There was absolutely no character building, no RPG character building elements. Really, it puts you as a set protagonist. You can name your character, you can edit your appearance. This is an RPG game. You're free to level up however you want and, be the kind of player that you want to be. You can be a gunslinger build, a melee character. It is an RPG in that sense. But as far as character progression goes, in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, my Fallout alter ego was this badass mercenary type, didn't take no shit, only works for caps, that kind of wastelander kind of guy, slightly alcoholic, but that's all right. But I could create him in those games and portray him so well, but I tried it in this game, and even creating this alter ego character, I still feel like Nate, it puts you as a set protagonist basically, and I think that is this game's biggest weak point. The combat system is absolutely on point. The visuals, I love where they went with the visual style instead of what am I trying to say here? And instead of that murky green feel that you got, that filter they put over Fallout 3 in New Vegas, that murky green wasteland filter that they had going on, you don't get that in this game. They did add a dash of color to the environment, which was very, very cool. It's very nice to look at. I thought that it fit the game pretty damn well. This is a Fallout game. You have all your usual Fallout things. You have your chems. They all do different effects. You have all your different guns. A lot of the guns on here are very well done as well. They added a lot of new guns in, and these guns are very well designed. Just look at the laser musket here. The laser musket is one of my favorite guns in the whole game. It might not be, extremely powerful or practical in the sense of damage, but I kept this thing through the entire game just because I really love the look and the feel of this weapon and the way it cranks on the side like that. Just such a cool weapon. I think there's actually an upgrade you can get to turn it into a Gatling laser where you crank the side and it just continuously fires. That is really, really cool. I never got that upgrade, but a buddy of mine did. He came over and downloaded Cheat Room from the mods and got that shit, and it blew my mind. But yeah, the weapons in this game are very well designed, from the simple pipe rifles and everything that you pull off of the raiders, to, you know, the more high-tech weapons like the laser minigun, you know, whatever it's called. It was called the Gatling laser in Fallout 3, but I think they changed the name in this one. But I never got that. I think you can actually only pull that off Elder Maxon if you kill him. I don't think I've seen one anywhere else, but... So, yeah, the weapons are very, very lovingly designed. All the armor pieces as well. The armor is very sparse. There's not much armor to pick from. And, of course, if you're playing a video game and you've got that video game mentality, you know that certain armor is going to protect more than other armors. Certain guns are going to do more damage than other guns, but at the same time on this game, all of the armor and the weapons just look so damn cool, and they feel so good that you can't just get a crappy piece of armor and not ever wear it just because it doesn't do very much damage protection. It just looks so cool. It's like it really makes you want to try out everything. You know what I'm saying? So they did do the weapons and armor very well. The weapons are better weapons than I've ever seen in any Fallout game. But really the only thing that truly kills it for me is the lack of roleplay. I've always been really into roleplay games. Of course, this is an RPG, as I said, and a lot of people argue that Fallout 4 is not even an RPG, and these people are morons, but Fallout 4 is in every sense considered an RPG, but, you know, it's just the player roleplay aspect of it. There's absolutely none of that. So if that's the main thing that you adored from 3 in New Vegas, I really wouldn't recommend coming into this game. Then the writing, the dialogue writing. Oh Lord. So I'm gonna show off a dialogue segment here in a minute. Whenever I go up here and talk to Preston Garvey, and you know the dialogue writing is so bad. I mean, not the writing for the dialogue itself, but like the choices at the bottom of the screen that you get. You can select between the choices. Most choices are like single-worded, just single-worded previews, and you select it. You have no idea what your character is going to say. A lot like, hell, even Mass Effect did a better job than Fallout 4 does of that. Like, if you want to give a sarcastic response, there's a button on the side. You press X, and on the side it says sarcastic. And, you know, sarcasm can be a good thing. You don't have to be a complete dick to be sarcastic. You can make a sarcastic joke and it'd be pretty damn funny and not a complete dickhead response at the same time. But like on this game, that's the thing. Some are like complete dickhead responses that you would never say, and some are actually pretty funny, just like, you know, just light humor. But you have no way of knowing because all it says is sarcastic. So I would really recommend quick saving your game if you're picky about what your character actually says, because you really don't get a preview of that whatsoever. You get a one-worded preview on the bottom of the screen. Could have done much better with that. There are mods to fix that. If you're looking to mod your game, there is a mod you can download. Just search up, what's it called? Just search up conversations and it should come up. It instead of having the little one-worded choices, it has the full sentence that your character is going to say. And I cannot for the life of me figure out why Bethesda did not include that, but here's hoping that they're going to fix that. Fallout 76. Oh man, really happy to be getting this review up there. I mean, I've tried this multiple times and I meant to get it up far sooner than now. You know, I just got sick and I've been so busy and just problems with the editing, and I'm just very happy that it's flowing smoothly this time. I'm actually having no problems. I probably just jinxed myself, but here you see the leveling up screen. You get your special stats. It's very unlike Fallout New Vegas and 3. Up at the top you get your special strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. That's what that stands for. I had to think for a minute there. So you get your special up at the top. Those are your base skills, and whenever you level up your base skills, you get access to more and more perks the more you level up the base skill. So you get one skill point every time you level up, so you can spend that skill point to level up a base skill, or you can pick a specific perk under that base skill. Really not sure how I feel about that. I think that I actually really enjoyed Fallout 3's leveling up a lot better. New Vegas, it only lets you pick a perk every 2 times you leveled up. But, yeah, on Fallout 3, you picked a perk every single time you leveled up, and it just, you increased your, you know, you had your small gun skill and your big gun skill, your barter, your speech, your unarmed, and that's how you increase your skills in that regard. You got a bunch of skill points you can spend on specific skills. And I think that it just felt a lot better in Fallout 3 because you know, you have a lot more chance to get perks, like really cool perks. Whereas on Fallout 4, I never really got any of the cool perks because I never played enough to reach like level 150 like most other people apparently. And I was spending most of my time leveling up my base skills to just be a stronger character. Alright, so here's a little sample of the dialogue for y'all. I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic and just let y'all listen to this and give my opinion on the dialogue and the voice acting whenever it's over.
Man, I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minuteman.
I'm just passing through.
Fair enough.
Maybe?
But the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right?
Nope.
And those raiders want us all dead, including you.
Nah, that ain't it.
I have my own problems, Garvey.
Yeah? Like what? You help us, maybe we can help you.
Who's around that can find a missing person?
Used to have a few good trackers in this group. Not many now.
Hey.
A month ago, there were 20 of us. Yesterday, there were 8. Now we're 5. First it was the ghouls in Lexington, and now this mess.
It's a cruel world.
You think I don't know that?
Nah,
The
that
things
ain't
I've
it.
seen. The things I've done. Anyway, we figured Concord would be a safe place to settle.
Damn it.
Those raiders proved us wrong. But, well, we do have one idea.
Let's hear it.
Sturgis, tell him.
There's a crashed vertibird up on the roof. Old school. Pre-war. You might have seen it. Well, looks like one of its passengers left behind a seriously sweet goodie. We're talking a full suit of cherry T-45 power armor. Military issue.
That's some serious protection.
Oh, it gets better. Get the suit. You can rip the minigun right off the vertibird. Do that, and those raiders get an express ticket to hell. You dig?
Minigun. Now we're talking.
I know, right?
Alright, that is quite enough of that. So I think that the dialogue on this game, it is very well written and very, very well voiced. These characters really feel alive, and it is... You know, they did such a really good job on the dialogue, and that really does complement the story. And before I get into the combat, I did want to talk about the story a little bit. So, the story is, you start pre-war. Of course, no spoilers are going to be in this. You can go play the game yourself if you haven't played it already. Not going to be spoiling anything. You start out pre-war, you go into a vault, you're cryogenically frozen in the vault, and then you emerge 200 years later just to find out that it was a fucked up experiment the Vault Tech pulled on you, and the world is now destroyed by nuclear war. And, you know, some dude comes into the vault and kills your wife and kidnaps your son. So the game is about you trying to, you know, emerge from the vault as the sole survivor of Vault 111 and look for your son. I think they were trying a little bit too hard to hit that nostalgia factor for Fallout 3 fans. You know, in Fallout 3, the story was you were born and raised in Vault 101, you leave the vault, you go find your dad in the Capital Wasteland. Very reminiscent of Fallout 3. I need to cut that down before that echoes over my mic. But yeah, these games always try a little too hard to hit some kind of nostalgia. I think that they could have done much better with the story. They could have made a much more original story. Our very first suit of power armor. The power armor makes you like a walking tank. That is exactly how it's supposed to be, and I absolutely love it. The only thing I don't like about the power armor is the fusion cores. In the lore, fusion cores last for 2,000 years, alright? These fusion cores, you're going to be going through them like AAA batteries. Very difficult to find enough cores to keep your power armor running unless you just know where they are. But, you know, the power armor is very worth it. There's a lot of customization options, and it is very, very cool. A lot of, you can put paint jobs on it, you know, all kinds of different stuff. I really love how they did the power armor. Alright, here's the part that we were all anticipating. I cut on the radio, but due to copyright purposes, the music is silenced. This was a lot cooler with the music. I sincerely apologize. I really wish the music had stayed in. So let's talk about the combat. That was my pet blowing. Oh my god, I really don't know if y'all heard that. But yeah, he is very, very loud. I would not recommend getting one of those animals. Let's go into the combat. The combat on this game is some of the best combat that I have ever experienced in my life. They really stepped up from Fallout New Vegas and 3. They did the combat so right. The combat is absolutely perfect in this game. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to a lot more of this coming from future Fallout games. This damn, it's just so all of the little systems put in check, like the hotkeys and, you know, the way the stim packs heal you and you select them from your hotkeys and all that. You know, all of this and the visual effects really tie in with the combat. It's just really all the little things that tie into it that makes it so damn good. And the character animation as well. You'll see this Deathclaw here in a minute. You know, just look at this shit. You may recognize this from my montage video that I posted yesterday. Honestly, this combat is so well done and so badass. Threw that damn truck over me there. You know, I had such a good segment, and it doesn't always happen like this. That is not scripted. I mean, I'm sure that him getting behind the car and throwing it is a scripted event, but it doesn't always happen like that, which is really cool. You know, none of this is scripted. It all just happened like that. And the combat is very cinematic and very fluid. You know, using your hotkeys to switch between weapons faster makes it a lot, you know, just a lot smoother and funner experience. And it's very immersive, and I just really love it so much. Go ahead and finish off these raiders here. You know, I really hope that y'all enjoyed this review, and my final verdict on this game is going to be a solid 8 out of 10, and that's only because they completely failed to deliver on the role-playing character building aspects that I always loved so much about Fallout. Very good game, very worth the money that they're asking for. I think it's free on Game Pass right now, actually. Definitely go and get it since it's free on Game Pass if you got that. A very good game. just, you know, not very roleplay-esque, sadly. I really hope that they make up for that in the next Fallout. But, as always, this has been your boy Big Daddy Cornbeef, coming at you with another quality Cornbeef Incorporated production. Hope y'all enjoyed this review, and just, you know, take it easy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I make videos every single motherfucking day, so just tune in. Alright, peace, y'all.
Quit fussing for destiny, and I know your pain.
Don't give me that destiny crap.
I just saw you go toe-to-toe with a 20-foot tall irradiated lizard. You telling me you can't keep an open mind after that?